And it's on.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for another week of D&D. We've just been reminiscing. I'm your humble DM. These are our players, and fortune favors our party today, as the group of you previously pondered your fates as to how you're going to resolve Blake Sunny's blood curse, her mom being essentially hired, presumably by Strahd, to bring down Ruzo's uncle, Dmitry Blagovich. The hag Nogazal bought up Pocket's debt and has kind of given all of you assignment as a party to look after one Evelyn of Shar. You sort of spurned her. You were looking for alternative options. So that was when a letter from one Ominifus Herald Hereward Drawn came through your letterbox, and you found yourselves at the Sigil headquarters of Acquisitions Incorporated. After a brush with a deadly spider, you managed to get behind the large metal doorway and into the cavern, and you find yourselves in a quaint, cozy office space. There is a small red-headed halfling at a desk that looks much too big for him. You can see what look like a number of scrolls and documents there on the table. You can also see that what he's immediately playing with are a number of what appear to be gems that are on the table that he's kind of fiddling around and putting into different boxes and pulling from and checking against ledgers as you all come in. And he pops his little head up and says, "Oh, hello, hi there. I'm Pip. And who are you?
We're new prospective interns.
Oh, yes. Um, you must be Omen's 11 AP after peak. I think that's what it is here. Yes, let me just check. Oh, yes, absolutely. And he presses a button on the desk, and you can hear the sound of stone rummaging around. We're still getting used to things here in the city. Are you Sigillian's native or
Yeah.
born and raised? Copernicus says, "I'm from the Outlands," and
Burke. Jink.
you
Cutter.
can see that he doesn't know what to do with that. He's like, "Cutter, yeah, cutters. Those are most of the people who come in here, anyways."
You're clueless.
Oh,
I don't really leave the compound very much. Most of my business is kind of, with the organization.
Sorry,
yeah.
I wasn't, it was more of a revelation. It was an exclamation.
And then there's a little bing, and there's a green light behind one of the doorways. And the halfling says, "Oh, yeah, just go into this one." You can see that there are several different passage ways
But
that you
before
could
we
take from
go,
this room.
out of curiosity, where did you move from?
Well, this was the Waterdeep location. The headquarters are pretty big, so we couldn't get very much prime real estate in the city.
Waterdeep. Never heard of that plane.
It's it's not in a good state. You don't want to go there now. It's, mm, massive stone golems have been loosed on the city. No magic users are strong enough. The Black Staff couldn't do anything about it. Nearly died trying to protect the city. It's in a bad state. Total breakdown of law and order, from what I understand.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's good talking to you, Pip.
It's been talking to you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. I just
We
go
kind of have
forget about me.
we kind of have a meeting. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
We don't want to keep the big guy waiting.
Peace, dude.
I'll flitter over to the door.
And you can hear what sounds like steam as the doorway opens and you step into a pristine, especially compared to the other room, just a pristine and very future modern, I guess now we would think of it as like a retro sci-fi modern office, or something like a cross between, I don't know, Dexter's Lab and the Batcave, like the final kind of office space. Sharp details and railings, what look like some kind of box figures and screens that are built into these configurations that are probably quite foreign to the group of you. There's you see a number of desks and a man, several figures in the room, and standing near one of the barriers is a man. He's dressed in
This is Omen.
plate armor. Yeah, Omen drawn. You can see he's dressed in plate armor. He's got blue details. Yeah, that's basically what he looks like there in the chat. Or you can Google Omen drawn. And he sort of curiously looks up at the group of you and says, I take it you're Blake, Sunny, and Co. Pocket, Russo, Sorrow Book, that one.
Yes, we are. Yes,
And
we are, sir.
Copernicus
I
rolls his
Sure.
eyes.
want to fly
These
up
are my
to him
backup
and
deck.
give him the glam hand.
He gets you, and says, "Oh, well, step into my this is open space office." But,
I don't do much
come
stepping,
here."
but your air's nice in here.
Yeah, and you do note the crispness and cleanness of the air compared to the city, and there is the ever so slightest hint of it's like a neutral pine scent.
What's that
Definitely
smell?
artificial.
It's a weird smell.
Small as small.
He says it smells like the plains.
Oh, that's a tree. That's a tree smell. Never liked it.
Mm-hmm. And you can see over his shoulder that there is what appears to be a drow, some kind of drow caster. Their eyes have gone white and they're kind of drooling at the mouth. And you can see further in the room something that looks like a small white beholder with a darkened eye that's kind of fluttering about. And there's also a dragonborn, rather stout, tall dragonborn with sort of orange skin, who looks rather disinterested, kind of standing aloof near the drow, somewhat like in a protective way. And Omen looks over the group of you and says, so let's talk business. You've obviously come here. Do you believe that we may be able to help each other in some significant way? I think that I may be able to help the group of you out, but maybe it's better if you just start with spitballing. Tell me, what can I do for the group of you?
Well, can you first off explain what this is and what you can do for us? Maybe that's a better place to start.
Well, do you want to see? We have like an informational video or like a trailer. Is that, or do you just want? I could just explain it.
Give me the video.
Yeah, it's fine. There is a real video like this that exists somewhere out there, and among the things. But I'll just give the brief play-by-play. He says, "Oh yeah," and he goes up to a table. He has a little remote in his hand. You might not be able to recognize what that is. Presses it, and there's like a screen. It's a very large computer display system, a la the Batcave. He tells you that there is something that's called like an automated intelligence that runs the systems in the Acquisitions Inc. headquarters. That it's how the video is stored. And from the screen, there is kind of a a light flash and this 1950s style propaganda film. Are you in debt to a shady lender? Have you made a blood oath that you can't commit yourself to? Perhaps your uncle is a famed vampire lord. Then there's a conspiracy against their life. If any of these things apply to you, then you may want to consider an internship at the esteemed adventuring company Acquisitions Incorporated. And you can see, I can't remember
Morgaine.
an elf, Morgaine, shooting an arrow off at it going through the heads of two drow who fall from a very, very tall plateau. She winks into the camera. They say basically the adventuring company out of the great city of Waterdeep, Acquisitions Incorporated, now has offices across the multiverse, and there's a little flash and an asterisk that you can all see, and a ton of very, very small text at the bottom. And
Can I,
says
if there's anything there to perceive, can I try and investigate that as it whizzes by?
You think that if you were to cast a stasis on this,
I
that you might
momentarily
be...
stasis the TV. Wait, what is? Hold on. Pause.
He says,
Which
hey,
I imagine frustrates Omen because there isn't like a pause function that I should have access to.
Well,
so
he has his
pause.
remote there, and he tries to click it.
So
but
I'm gonna
you're able
burn.
to see.
I'm gonna burn one. I'm gonna burn two to like frustratedly stop it a couple times.
Yeah, so it says that all of the Acquisitions Incorporated companies that were originally labeled as such have been bought up by one Portia Drawn, and that on the planar multiverse, or on the planar universe, which technically would include the Shadowfell and Feywild, I believe.
Drawn
At least
Enterprises.
the Shadowfell.
Drawn Enterprises subsidiary. What is that?
Yeah, it basically says that Drawn Enterprises has bought the company up.
Well, wait, what is this? I thought the
Plains.
name of the business was Ack Inc. Whoa. You said your name was Omen Drawn? Drawn Enterprises? Is this, what is this?
And he says, my sister Portia, it was a hostile takeover. We've managed to keep the frame of the company. We just can't trade on the planar spheres. It's really just, it's a minor inconvenience. We have plenty of lawyers who are like working on it. You can see that he's starting to sweat. And he says, anyways, enough of the video. It's my understanding that, or do you want to see the rest of the video? Are you committed at this point?
I'm gonna interject and say, let's not play games here. You know who we are, and you clearly have an understanding of our situation. So, what do you want from us?
He wants to help.
And
Sure.
Yeah, what?
he says, we're, as a company, trying to break into this new market that we are clueless, like literally capital C clueless about navigating. And we need essentially brand ambassadors within the city, but also adventurers who could perform the duties that adventurers typically do perform in the context of our company work. We often are involved with, treasure hunting, dungeon exploring, material acquisition. I mean, sometimes it's intellectual property or copyright data, infringement issues, and piracy. It's an abstract market. You have to be prepared to take whatever angle the market trends are. It's all very complicated. And what I'm trying to say is that I can help you in the formal legal sense if you can commit yourself to a contract internship with Acquisitions Incorporated, which could lead in the future to the possibility of employment, gainful employment.
How about this?
Oh my god.
how about we become your Sigil ambassadors with full-time pay?
You can see that there's a furrow in his brow, and he says the company model is strict about
I have
procedural hierarchies
done-
and internal.
I have spent too much of my young life being unpaid and learning many things. I'm quite an asset.
You can still keep your job at the bakery, and you can still, waste your money into that dead-end Grim Journeyman tavern. And Ruzo, you're not going to go out on anything. And he points to Copernicus. You can see that Leo's crawled up on Copernicus' shoulder. They're both kind of incredulously looking at this guy.
Yeah.
And he says, you can do whatever, magic
This is a
shows in the
fantastic pep
streets.
talk.
Baldy, do you have a coffee machine here?
Do I have a coffee machine here? And he
He
walks
seems
over.
insulted by the question.
Yeah, you can see that there is just a massive brass espresso installation. It's got 8 different nozzles. It's industrial grade, and there's a
Cool.
coffee grinder that is, almost as tall. There next to it, and he.
He's like, "What you want, bitch? A French roast?"
Yeah.
Um,
You, Blake Sunny, make a insight check. Make an insight check.
The cogs are turning. A plan is forming in Blake's mind. I don't like this rude bitch.
I'd laugh if this is really low.
So there's something that's not right. You can see just from the way that he's holding the ground coffee in the espresso, whatever it is, the thing that you put on the espresso machine, that you're like, if you want a satisfactory cup of coffee, you're gonna have to do it yourself. You don't
Okay.
necessarily trust the CEO with your beans.
Blake's gonna do that. She's like, no, I'm a barista. Here, let me. And while she's there, she's going
Yeah,
to
and
kind of
he
like,
gives it away like a
He's
hot
like,
potato.
"Oh, thank
It's like someone
Tamora."
else's baby. He's
Oh,
like,
thank
yes,
Tamora.
please, of course. Yes.
So I, as a barista IRL, know that like these coffee machines are so fucking fragile, and this guy seems really proud of this one. So Blake's gonna be like, "Oh, it seems like one of the pipes here is a little loose, wouldn't you say?" And she's going to kind of like just start adjusting it a little bit and be like, "So, what were you saying about internal structures? I'm really fucking interested."
And
Ruzo, quick, prove your usefulness to him.
he says, well, there are expedited programs for people who prove themselves, capable of performing second level administrative tasks. There is still a necessary internship period. The expedited internship forms are an exception, but for adventurers of your caliber, we may be able to, cross some bridges via paperwork and sign you out of some. I mean, you're not going to have to do like the internship tests or anything like that. And he points to a different screen, and you can see internships running through like rooms with saw blades coming out from the walls and stuff like that. I mean, they're not going to throw you in anything like that. You guys seem to test your mettle.
So how expedited is expedited? Because like I could fix your coffee machine right now. Would that give us a floor?
And he
Is
says,
your unscrewing stuff making it like worse so you can fix it later?
Not really. She's just like in a position to very clearly.
She's got her hand on a pipe, slowly bending it.
Yeah, just like the screen wand is a little bit out of shape right now.
and you can see, like, just on instinct, his hands start to go towards you. Just like, would you?
No,
It's
I
very
know what I'm
delicate,
doing.
don't touch it.
You trust me, right?
And he says that obviously for exceptional cases, and you should have said from the beginning, there are things that he is capable and willing to offer, namely to provide you Blake, Sonny, with the option of ending your blood curse without having to kill Dmitry Blakovich, fulfilling your oath.
Oh.
He
Well,
says that he can pay the balance of Pocket's debt and take it on as a part of his initial and docket from his initial employee earnings, essentially.
How do I know that you're gonna be a better what's the word I'm looking for? Someone who breaks knees
Beneficial?
over money.
Um,
How do I know that you holding a debt over my head is, well, honestly, it's pretty easy for it to be better than who has it right now, now that I think about it.
yeah. He says that our HR policy forbids the use of high-level magical charms except in the prevention of harm caused by artifacts, usually.
How can you promise the safety of my uncle?
And the the cleric has a dour look over himself, and he goes to the remote control and he puts on another video, and it's like a similar 1950s, it's like a propaganda film, but this time it says Strahd, the
Boo!
devil of Barovia, question mark,
him.
exclamation point. And
That's what I'm saying. He's in Barovia. You don't have to fucking worry about him.
I've been to Barovia. I was there like a month ago.
That sucks.
Omen says not a good vacation spot.
Mm-hmm.
The wine tastes like tears.
Brought something back with me too. She's gonna say, casting a wink at fucking Russo.
And so the video shows Castle Ravenloft. You've all been there. It's the smoky night. It's black and white. And then there's a shot of the village of Volaki and some smoke screen and different villagers who are, faint. And it's like a silent movie. So it says, "Oh no, look out for the Devil's Strahd." And there's like a play out. One of the characters is named Irina, and you can see that the burgomaster of the village is trying to tell her not to travel out at night. She is insistent, "No, I must go home. I must return to my papa." Yes. And so she begins to go her way out, and Owen says, "This is taking forever." And he starts to fast forward, and in high speed, you can see her going into the woods, taken up by the vampire Strahd, whooshed away toward Castle Ravenloft. There's a lot of dialogue, some threats. He pulls his cloak over her, and you can see the scene shifts to a curmudgeonly. You met him, Rictavio. Curmudgeonly
I met
old
that guy.
curmudgeon, yeah, who begins explaining in great detail, and then Omen pops the video back on, and you can see this curmudgeonly old man, scars on his face. You did meet him. He had a sort of Hannibal Lecter voice. Tells you that the phylacteries of Strahd are strewn across the multiverse, but that with the right adventuring company, there is a possibility that they could be found.
Oh my god.
They one exists in the Amber Temple, in a vault that is sealed far away from the main chambers that are kind of currently available to travelers. There is a goblet somewhere at the intersection of hell and the abyss in the forest of destitution. And there is supposedly a very powerful wand that Strahd himself projected the greater store of his magic into when he made the exchange with the dark powers to become a vampire. One of the fewer known details of the story of Strahd is that he wasn't only a great knight and warrior, but that he practiced via his kind of royal connections wizardry and amassed uh, a full compendium of magic. It was said that many spells were thought in Ravenloft, at least, to have been invented by him for the sheer dearth of magic users that exist in the area. Sort of single-handedly taught himself magic, and as a requirement for the dark powers to accept him as the thrall that he became, he concentrated his magic into a wand, and there's a close-up of a tome that this Rictavio Van Richten has, and you can see that it looks like the Elder Wand.
I was gonna say Blake's
Yeah,
eyes fucking.
Russo perks up at this and is
I think we all
Copernicus a look.
slowly. I think we all start to slowly turn to towards Copernicus, but I'll
Copernicus-
stop myself.
Like some steam goes off it, like in Blake's hand. Like
Copernicus isn't paying attention to the video. He's actually looking down at the wand in his hand.
Pause.
And
Oh,
Owen pauses
nudge
it, and
Copernicus.
there's the wand, and he says, "What do you guys want?"
What if?
Oh.
What would it mean if we knew where that wand is?
Well, I guess it depends on where it's from. You know the origins of this wand? You figured it out?
Didn't the
Huh?
video just tell us?
we have an expert on the wand right here, Copernicus. Also, I can tell you where we found it.
Oh, don't tell him that just yet.
I said I can. It's called bargaining. God.
You don't have a contract or anything yet.
And Omen looks over and says, "This seems like a delicate scene, and I don't necessarily mean to insert myself, but there may be a bureaucratic solution. I have
Hear, hear.
in my possession a way to destroy that artifact, an
Destroy.
adamantine press. If you're trying to kill Strahd, that contains..." And he looks and he's, "Oh, let me check this ledger."
I
And
thought
he
that
opens a
you
large
were
black book.
I thought you were supposed to be helping us so we
33?
didn't have to kill Strahd.
No, it's so you don't have to kill Dmitry Blagovich,
Oh, okay.
Russo's uncle.
Gotcha.
He tells you that the easiest way to break a blood oath is to kill the other party. The dark powers will accept the death of the other party to whom the oath was sworn as considered a fulfilled payment. In the event that the oath isn't able to come to fruition.
I love being right.
So it's looking more and more like we're gonna need to kill Strahd.
And Omen tells you that Strahd apparently broke up his soul 3 ways. And that and he says, "Oh, well, there's the video."
Yeah, one was in the Amber Temple, one's in the Wand, and where's the third
Yeah.
one?
In
Novel?
the intersection of Hell and the Abyss, the Forest of Destitution is what it's called.
Oh no!
Forest of Destitution. Sounds like my 20s.
And Omen says, "I know what you're thinking, and maybe that's not the right entry, intern level mission. We could do some field work in the
I
city,
mean, but it's what
and work
we
our way
need
up
done.
toward." Well, yeah, there's the timeline, and from a professional standpoint, the time in Hell is eons compared to the time dilation rates. So you could spend decades in Hell, and it would maybe amount to a few minutes here in the city. something to consider.
That's
Uh,
horrible. Can we climb the ranks and send out our own team to do this work for us? That's where I want to
If-
be. That's my 5-day plan.
And you can see that Omen looks a bit
That's what you do.
confused. Well,
I want to do what you do.
start your own adventuring company, I guess, if that's what you want to do. I'm
Where's the
here
paperwork
because
for that?
That you take it up. I can tell you that it is not a fun process. The Harmonium and
I've read a
the
few
Mercy
books.
Killers, both they don't take kindly. We had to do a lot of palm greasing, and
No. Let me
the
be
city already doesn't look kindly on us, and taxing and administrative codes. We've been
Mr.
technically
Drawn,
placed.
you have me misunderstood. I want a franchise for you.
And he says, I understand what the overhead rates are, and I appreciate your enthusiasm. If we are able to generate enough velocity, financial velocity, then we may be able to discuss franchising motivations. But that is a level of clearance that you have not yet reached.
I don't want to go to hell.
How could we prove our worth to you in such a way that you might be inclined to offer such an opportunity to us?
And the cleric looks over you and he says, well, maybe you could I could answer your question with another question. What was it that your previous employer, the Crone Nagazal, was having you do?
Blake? Your employer. Never my employer.
Not my employer.
She's just your
Oh,
debtor.
yeah. That's me, huh? Jeez.
My employer is
Alright.
lovely.
My
Oh,
employer's
yeah.
okay.
Usually, I love bargaining. I love holding information over people's heads, but you guys have it in for Crone a little bit, I'm assuming. It seems. 100%.
And you can see that he looks at his desk frantically, and he's like, "What? Where is it?" And he looks over and says, "Yes, Crone. We don't deal necessarily kindly, but we keep the options open. In this kind of business, the competition and vectors and synergy, it's a curious multiverse, and everything after the spell plague has blurred bright lines. We don't want to make any formal statements on the record, and I think that if you are working for her, there are probably some legal exclusionary clauses that we wouldn't want to be in violation of as a company. Are we on the same page?"
I'm not listening. I'm like looking at pamphlets that are sitting on the table.
I'd like to respond with another question. What's your track record for these kinds of things? How can we know that you'll deliver on these results?
And you can see that his eyes immediately go to a notebook, it says intern ledger, and he looks a bit nervously at it, and he says, our results are usually commensurate with the ability of the adventurers. You're here because you are cut rate first on the list for my 11 o'clock slot. So there's that.
I'll tell you what's cut. This guy in your pamphlet, Dunbar of Sprek, the Secretarian. Check that guy out. When do I meet
Whoa.
that guy?
You got a number?
He
I
said
like his tie.
Dunbar is on assignment in the Feywild.
He would be. Wink.
Also, this is a cute picture you have on your desk of you and your friends
Oh yeah.
at the Alamo, wherever that is.
That's funny. Is that Evelyn?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Is that you with hair?
He starts blushing a little bit.
how do we know you'll deliver on these promises that you've made to us?
And he says, well, that's the sort of the benefit of contracts. In a certain regard, once something is set into place, it's legally, like for Pocket's debt, that's just immediate paper signed, debt absolved, freedom acquired. As far as the curse thing, there's a pretty short turnover, or the wand thing, there's a pretty short turnover time for something like that. We can go watch it get destroyed. You can keep the magic dust if you want. It's not of any use to me.
Could be a good souvenir. I think we need to confer amongst ourselves for a moment.
And he says, yes, that's absolutely fine. And he pulls out what looks like a small red leather-bound hardcover book. And he says, these are your contracts, so feel free. Dunk.
Give
Yes. And he points over, and there's a little nook. There's a rainbow, and it says the reading nook.
Ooh.
Cozy.
Some like cozy chairs and little tables with doilies, and
Alright.
Yeah, Pocket
Blake will make the
Pocket will pull out
party
his readers.
there are also bookshelves with a lot of like scintillating or kind of with a lot of literature. Some of it is scintillating and lowbrow. Some of it is like literary novels and poetry and stuff like that. And that's what Copernicus goes for. He doesn't really, he's just kind of aloof. Says, I don't really trust this guy, but
He has no reaction to us just ready to throw his wand into the shredder.
Yeah, Blake's gonna ask that like straight up, just like, hey, they're gonna get you to destroy the Elder Wand, dude.
Yeah, your wand's a Horcrux for Strahd. It's gotta go.
Who? Why did huh?
Would you listen to any
No.
of that?
No, you can't. The wand chose me. I'm chosen by the wand. I have
Oh.
magical powers. It's like I've
Copernicus,
never
you don't need a wand to choose you to make you feel
tied to
special.
my life essence. If you just destroy it outright, it might kill me.
Mr. Drawn,
Okay, that is a valuable concern.
Mr. Drawn,
very valuable.
this one says he'll die if you break the wand. I don't know if they're just being hyperbolic or whatever.
And you can see that Omen. He's like, "Where are these fucking books?" Oh, jeez. He's like rummaging through his desk. Let me see if there's something that I can find. There is a compendium. He gets on the intercom. Pip, God damn you, Pip! Do you find me my magical tomes and bring them in here? You know which tomes. Pip.
My toes.
They're all fucking
Tomes.
magical.
The voice goes where the intercom stops off. Oh, hate that guy. And Omen says, well, I'm not sure if, I think that it's in the internship policy, insurance wouldn't necessarily cover that, but we do have clerics on hand who could probably help spare the dying, just to ensure that immediate cardiac, I mean, if he like goes into immediate cardiac
But what
arrest,
if it is
if
something
it's
more
like,
of a soul-rending, bound to the wand type of situation?
says most people can live, with their souls rent.
You hear
You'd be
that?
surprised.
Hear that, Copernicus?
What?
Copernicus says, I don't think that's a good, like...
Hold on.
Also, Bastard Theodis are still in there.
Yeah,
Who?
my old friends.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And
Is
you
that
think about,
something you should bring up to the guy?
Probably.
and you can see when he hears this, he's like, oh, it's magic
There's no
dust. There might be soul dust in the midst of it, but it's just gonna be wild. It's like stem cells. Do you know what stem cells are?
And
It can
people
just
die,
kind of
resurrection's kind of a gross bourgeoisie kind of thing when you think about it. It's really expensive.
Yeah, I've
Copernicus
been
says,
saving
it has
the money.
never. Yeah, I never thought I'd be resurrected.
I've been saving the money for resurrection for like 20 years. For like, oh my god, it's only been a week. But
You just feel decades older.
yeah.
Blake, Sonny, you might have gotten info last you checked at your apartment that actually your stock in the Grim Journeyman has increased. The value of it's increased by 20%.
Line go up. Good. Nice. But I don't want to destroy this thing until we have that written. But that being said, the other Horcruxes, they're fair game. I'm still down to destroy those.
And Omen says, well, if I were to go into this sort of agreement, it would be on a to destroy basis. Obviously, the timeline could be fulfilled up to you. As long as that's like that's the contract that would apply in this situation. And he like holds it up and he points to the title, like artifact destruction contract or whatever agreement.
Can I check that in this contract he specifically mentioned our circumstances and what they aim to deliver for us?
Most of the language is not specific to the circumstances. It is actually quite the opposite. You find that the language is solely centered around the fulfillment of and expectations, mutual expectations. You can see that there are a number of very curious Pocket, you would recognize them. They typically call them like break clauses. If you like break certain conditions, then the company reserves the right to break your kneecaps. Typically,
There
a
it
common
is.
break clause.
There it is.
Different
So-
morality questions.
What-
Bad misrepresenting the organization. Causing unreasonable or intentional financial burdens for the company, stuff like that.
So what Pocket's first most interested in while looking over these contracts is obviously his situation and what exactly this payment plan, this structure is. He inherits my debt. How does that, first off, how does that happen? Is he just gonna, like, I'm trying to figure out, is he just gonna fucking go knock on Nagazal's door and give her the fucking money, or that's a question. I don't know, but there's
So
that.
legally, yeah, go ahead. Is that
No,
that's
there's
one
that,
question.
and then of course, how exactly I am paying off this debt? Is it through time spent? Is it through returns and profits off of my ventures? Am I just getting a cut out of a theoretical paycheck? That kind of thing.
Bruzo is going to go grab a pen and flip over the contract.
And also, how many kneecaps I have to spare throughout the contract.
Well, it's not necessarily draconian, and your understanding of civil law in Sigil is such that any adventuring company essentially has to adhere to the same standards within reason. This contract is pretty boilerplate in the case of your debt. It comes that independent arrangements will be made between the company and the Crone Nog Hazal. These will be handled entirely by the company, and no further strain will be placed on the adventurer, in this case, Pocket. The debt will be settled between the two, and the money will be, in essence, repaid via the findings in adventures. A certain percentage of valuable goods, which are labeled as goods worth more than 100 gold. And
will you buy this horn? Can I get a jump start on this debt, please? I have this really nice horn that's worth a lot of money. It's valuable, and I think this would definitely count as something gained on an adventure.
And yeah, it's on Blake Sonny's hip, but you go to the horn,
And I'm
and
like jiggling
Oh,
the
Blake gave it back, I think, after the thing. It is a good
Oh,
horn, though. I
sorry.
used it.
and Omen looks over the horn.
It's the
He
best.
notes the
It
adventure.
doesn't get any better than this horn as far as horns of this type go.
He says, "Yes, I can document or dock a significant, probably about 5,000 gold off the
Oh
the
god
total."
damn it. Give it back.
While this is going on, Russo is now writing on the back of the contract 2 clauses. 1, end Blake Sonny's blood curse, and 2, pay the balance of Pocket's debt. And that's what I want them to agree to.
Do we have a
Mhm.
number for that? Honestly, I don't even remember or know how Pocket accumulated this debt. I don't exactly remember if I'm actually.
Omen tells you that I mean, yeah, it was. I think that you were trying to make like a business or something, and it.
Oh yeah. I tried
it
starting a
went
business
through.
and just went straight under.
It was an initial of about 1,000 gold. It's been a few years though, and the interest is about 7,000. So it's with everything else and fees in and out. It's about 8,500 gold's worth of debt. Is what Omen tells you.
Is that what I've have? Because I've been trying to pay this off, but obviously I either keep losing my money or something. So I don't know if I've ever made any progress on it.
We could say that this is with any payments
Yeah.
that you've made, trying to kind of close off the interest and stuff.
Okay. Well, yeah, write the horn into the contract.
Okay. And Omen says, "That's what I was hoping you would say."
Blake's also gonna use this time while like the contract's being amended by Russo and this is happening. Like just to talk to Copernicus about this a little more. And just be like, hey buddy, there's still time to say no.
And,
Is there?
Copernicus,
Really though, because if he's
Yeah, I don't.
I don't if there's an option to say no, that means we're not going to kill Strahd. That just means that's off the table and it's out of the
Yeah.
contract.
Does it?
Yes.
We can still
Yes, it
yeah,
does.
because this is one of his phylacteries. There's essentially no other way.
If you want to kill Strahd, you must destroy this wand.
Well, I'm giving him the option.
And
I
Copernicus,
don't like this option.
I get it, dude, but also I'm
Copernicus
gonna
says,
die because
if
now, so-
it's gonna help Russo out, she lied to us, but she's been a good friend, and I guess that's I owe it to the group. It's not always just about what I think. We
We'll
don't
keep
have
the
to. We'll try and get our friends out. If we can get Theodis out of the wand first, and
We'll
Bast, I
keep
guess.
the one till last. We'll deal with the other 2.
Yeah. It'll give us enough time and resources, hopefully.
There may be other souls trapped in the wand. If we could do that, it would be more noble than just putting it in a particle smasher or whatever.
Yeah. And maybe we could have our own little army against Strahd, you know? Like in theory, if it's a lot of souls in there. If they don't like Strahd, then, you know.
Mr. Drawn, do you have a soul from wand extractor?
I could do with one of those.
And
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Omen says, "I don't think that our soul extractor machine made it through the
What?
A machine that extracts souls. Needed it for reasons.
This existed.
Because
This is a real
Pocket
thing.
was just being completely facetious. Like, oh yeah, let's just go get our soul extracting machine.
Omen seems to be very like, yeah, of course. What do you do?
Are there more of these things? Can we?
He says that he doesn't know of any working types, and that it is a certain probably you're better off going with white magic than black magic for this issue.
Wait, a
If you
soul
want,
extracting machine is black magic? I would think it'd be like copper magic or something.
I guess that's fair. Well, when it's mechanical, it might be a little bit different. But just in general, that's the advice that he gives you.
Oh, cool. I think Blake doesn't have any particular issues with this contract. Her willingness to shine saving contracts is what got her into trouble, and boy, is she not learning.
I just
Russo,
want... Go
sorry.
ahead. No, you got.
Oh, Russo wants him to agree to the amendments they've made to make it a bit more specific to their situation.
And I just want Blake to
Yeah.
understand that if you want your part of the contract to be able to be fulfilled, that wand's gonna have to go at some point.
Yeah, so there are some amendments that are made, and this is part of the sort of subtext. It basically says that the events herein agreed will seemingly lead to the destruction of Strahd, barring any intervention by, presiding dark powers and entities and/or light ones, celestial entities. That this may involve the destruction via the Acquisitions Incorporated official particle smasher, to destroy the Elder Wand, although it's not legally binding if there is an alternative method found for destroying the soul of Strahd in the artifact itself, which may or may not be a thing. And yeah, I guess those are the two crucial points, unless I'm missing something.
And the fulfillment of their terms doesn't affect my terms.
No,
All right,
your
yeah, it's fine with
your
me.
payment happens irregardless. It happens regardless.
We're gonna whack them off regardless. A good day to use, and a good day to use.
So, do you sign?
Not until I do another 3 read-throughs and an investigation check to make sure there's nothing really glaringly obvious in here.
It's funny because I was literally just watching one of the last CT episodes, and Jerry says that that in the early contracts there was some text that could only be revealed after 3 read-throughs.
Really?
Yeah, literally says. And so yeah, on the third read-through, you are able to find this little very curious clause, and it's an obscure Sigilian bit of law that you're not really sure about, but the text itself reads something to the effect of the Administration of Acquisition Incorporated may deem it necessary to withhold any compensation in the event that what are the names of the in the event that the Dabus make can require either through legal compulsion or informal consultation.
What about the Dabus?
That the Dabus could essentially veto your payment, and
Yeah, Pocket finds that really weird because, like, Dabus, they're the caretakers of the city. They're the silent guys who go around and destroy and float things at the ladies, or destroy and create things at the ladies' whim. And like, it's really
they could
strange.
sanction you. Is
It's
essentially
It's really strange to think of them acting in any sort of bureaucratic way.
Yeah. Well, you know that there are plenty of Dabus judges in the court system,
Oh.
and that they do.
What a frustrating trial. They talk with symbols in front of their head.
Mhm. And that they are supposedly said to hold a lot of the secrets, the deep lore of the city, and to know about the
Oh, yeah.
lady and stuff like that. The only people who have the cognitive capacity to handle lore about the lady without going insane.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Dabis are like, as far as anyone knows, the people or creatures who have been in Sigil the longest.
Yeah, it is the case.
Could
That's
this
weird.
be problematic with Blake's recent run-in with the law,
No.
considering that wasn't a real trial?
No, that's kind of
You don't think that that's likely.
Okay.
The Dabas are different.
And well, because that trial was relegated to the Hive, you don't think that it was already explained to you that kind of the legal systems are essentially different. That the administration of Sigil doesn't care at all about crimes that happen in the Hive. Doesn't enforce it, doesn't regulate it.
Good to know.
Okay. Yeah, honestly,
Sign on the dotted line, initial it twice.
this is a better situation for me, I think. It's nice to have it all in writing. This is something that I can comprehend. It's something that I can jive with. I can't help but notice you have a job title, secretarian. I think that sounds pretty cool, and would like to be one of those at some point.
So I have a question.
Or a documenter. That one sounds pretty fucking cool too. Sorry, go ahead, Russo.
This is actually just more like a general game thing.
Sure.
If I were to sign Russo Sorrowbrook, would that be okay, considering that's technically not my name?
If you haven't had it legally changed, you signed with it. I actually have already thought about this eventuality. The legal system in Sigil dictates that even if you don't sign your name, it is your handwriting that makes a contract binding as opposed to the name signed on the contract itself. So it applies to you even if you use an alias, even if you use a family name or a name that you don't usually go by, because it was your writing and your handwriting. In Sigil, it would be considered legally binding.
Your intention.
Okay. Yeah, just to clarify, like Russo was just more of like a nickname, and then obviously I'm Blagovich, so.
Yeah.
Ruzo Blagovich, yeah.
And
Which may be something that you just tell your companions now.
Or
Yeah.
not at all. You might just sign your name, yeah.
Cool. I think Blake's gonna sign, fix the guy's coffee machine, and make him a really nice cup of coffee. Just as a show of goodwill.
And he takes a whiff, has a sip, and just exquisite.
That's me.
Well,
Russo is sinking back to Theodos at Blake's family dinner.
Where's the champy? Bust out the bottles, big man. You just got your best employees, I'll have you know.
And he says, "Oh, we do have a celebration mode. AI." And he presses a remote, and confetti starts coming out in streamers. Boop. And there's a little Modron comes is like on a wheel, and it has a bucket with a bottle on a tray, some glasses.
Got a party hat.
Pulls forward. One of the glasses falls onto the ground and breaks. And,
I got this. I mend it back together.
nice, yeah. So you kind of roll your hands over, and the glass shoop, mends itself together. The robot corks it and pours glasses for everyone in automated fashion. to new beginnings,
Oh,
to eventual gainful employment,
To killing Strahd.
to killing that evil vampire, Strahd von Zarovich.
Shit. Oh,
I
god
heard his
damn
middle
it.
name is really Shirley.
That's great. So about our
Wanna
per
know something
diem,
stupid?
Yes.
what is it?
Oh goodness. You talking about the rate per adventuring?
We're not going to be able to do much good work without some upstart, and I understand that we haven't reached gainful employment yet, but at least we could have some capital that perhaps isn't gainful to us, but as an asset to our adventuring.
He looks you over and says, "Yes, there's written in your contracts a policy. How much do you think that you'll need?"
Well, I mean, if I'm assuming that this money isn't going towards my debt. I mean,
It's not going to your debt.
I know.
Please don't.
No. That's what I'm saying. Really, for the first time in my life, I don't care how much money you give me.
Whoa. Fuck it.
Hey, you've known me for a couple of weeks. Fuck off.
Copernicus says, well, you can give me as much as you give them, I guess. As long as we all get the same amount, it seems right. I may not be a citizen. And Omen says, actually, if you signed the contract, you are now a citizen of Sigil. It's here, and he says, "What? What?
I pressed the celebration button again.
Yeah, literally.
Welcome to the city." Yeah, you can see some Sigillian like artwork, and there's actually an image that kind of sets the group of you unnerved for a moment, because there appears to be an image of a woman in a long dress with blades protruding from her limbs that looks uneasily familiar to the group of all of you who have spent time in some of the...
Wait,
more
where
curious-
is this visage?
It's from the computer screen.
What the hell is that? And I'm like,
Pocket wouldn't be familiar with it, but yeah,
I'm talking about the
it's still
computer.
disturbing.
I'm talking about the
Yeah.
computer. I'm not talking about what's on it.
Oh!
What
Yeah, the thing
the
itself.
hell is this?
Omen says it's well, we have this automated intelligence system that stores and tracks data, can make predictions based on the inputs, and it also helps run some of the kind of essential bread and butter
Wow.
tasks.
Do you have games
of
on this?
the-
Did you just say that I wouldn't recognize the Lady of Pain?
Well, you didn't see her in the way that other
Oh, got it,
characters might
got it.
have.
Got it.
Yeah. And Omen says yes, actually, and he presses a different button, and then it's like Miss Pac-Man.
Oh my god! I smashed it.
Here, have her play around.
Blake fucking loses almost as soon as she can. Like. Good
I
God.
love your cats.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.
Yeah. So, oh my gosh, let me see. Omen says that he can offer up a per DM of 400 gold a head.
I'll take it.
I just need enough to buy a good weapon. We're going to hell after all.
No, not yet. That's not number one on the list. No.
True.
No. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that at some point. Not now.
Amber Temple it is. Let's go.
Oh no.
What?
Can we
We
do?
gotta start somewhere.
Can we do not one of the ones that takes us to some of the literal worst places in the multiverse?
And Omen says, don't forget that the spell plague is the thing outside of Sigil. Magic it's going to be a little harder to come by.
You keep saying this word. I don't. It's just not landing.
Okay. That's on you. Not my responsibility anymore. I'm pushing that. Yours now.
Where do you want to start, my little heart-shaped pocket?
Doesn't know how to respond to that. I don't want to do either of those things. I don't want to do that. And my contract doesn't say I have to.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you remember that Omen was interested and suggested that if you were looking for something valuable to do for your internship assignment pocket, and that it technically applied to the group of you, that you could follow through on the thread of Evelyn of Shar. As for now, he points you to a little elevator space that he says will put you outside of the Face of Gith Tavern by Forgotten Lane.
Do we have an office here?
He tells you no, but
Oh.
that
Oh.
in the kind of back alleyway entrance, if you take a sprig of thyme and shake it as you go in, that it'll be able to bring you back to the headquarters.
Okay. Okay, we'll get out of your office now.
Yes, thank you for your time.
Thanks
Thank
for the
you
good times,
all, and yeah, if you have any problems, just try and address them in writing through Pip before you think about coming to me. No offense. We run a tight ship here. We have a lot of members and administration.
Don't worry, if I got something
Pip
real
is
important.
the point of contact.
Yeah, don't worry. If I got something real important, I'll run it right up the chain to you.
Did Pip ever get those magical tomes?
And he says, "And good day to you all."
On my way out, yell, Pip, where are those fucking tomes?
Yeah, as the doors close in the elevator that you walk into, you can hear Pip, 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 and you jink and find yourselves falling out in front of a Gith bar. You can see different Gith hanging out inside through the windows, and the streets around this area are pretty empty. It's getting to be the earlier part of the morning. You can see some Aarakocra who are flying off from the Shattered Temple, which is near where you are by Forgotten Lane.
Right.
Not very many people out at this hour, though.
You guys thinking what I'm thinking?
I'm sleepy.
Shopping trip.
That could be useful.
Yeah, you need a new sword. And kind of, I probably need a new sword.
I was thinking more of armor, but okay.
Armor? What? Okay.
I got something I gotta do.
That doesn't sound suspicious at all.
Why
But
so
you do you.
Alright, peace. I won't be following you down the streets.
Wink, wink.
I'd like to see you try.
Yeah, you're right, actually. Peace, dude. Stay safe.
Okay. Just so you know, Derek. I mean, I say I got something I gotta do, but I'm gonna stick with the party for now. But don't mind me if I just kind of disappear for a second. I want to steal a spell book.
Okay.
And I will make a meal out of it. Using
So
spells.
right around
and-
the corner from here is the
Not from a store, but like from a wizard. Like not a big wizard, just like, some like, third tier
Well,
wizard. You know what I mean?
You're still in an area where there are a number of B-Tech wizards because of the Parted Veil bookshop. The neighborhood up above Anvil Square pulls in a lot of mid-level, lower-tier magical users. Describe to me how you want to go about doing this.
I mean, as we're going wherever we're going, I'm gonna be casing any potential marks. I'm looking for people, young wizards with scars on their hands, like magical burns or like stuff where
Like an evocation?
yeah
or-
stuff where their evocation spells they've fucked up and marked themselves with either their fire or ice or little lightning marks, because as you're learning spells, you fuck up sometimes. And
Is Pocket still with us?
yeah, I'm like hanging around with you, but I'm like I'm good at this. I'm just hanging out. Don't
Can
worry
I
about me.
tell if he's casing people, if he's having a
Ah.
look?
Make an insight check. If you want to make a deception check.
I don't know
Pocket.
why it hasn't occurred to Pocket to talk to Ruzo about this.
You are
Yeah,
a
I mean, I
rogue,
have
so-
I have plus 12 sleight of hand.
You think
That's,
that you
15.
can tell Ruzo, and by the way, Pocket's looking in through
Yeah,
the
so I
window.
will have made a couple of illusions, like whenever Blake said it's time to go shopping, and I'm like, yeah, I'm thinking about doing a kind of shopping, and I'm like looking around and stuff. I'm window shopping right
Whenever
now,
you-
actually.
Whenever you do a Blake impression, it always just makes my day. It's so funny. So great hearing other people do it. Like,
But yeah, so yeah, I would notice Ruzo noticing and be like, yeah, I don't know enough hurt spells.
It's a good skill to learn. Who are we looking for?
Young mages with telltale marks on their casting arm, fingers, burnt hair and eyebrows, but not a smell of chemicals. We don't want alchemists.
Can we
Yeah,
see if
you-
there's anyone who fits that description?
So as you're traveling through, you are able to case out a home that appears to smell less of artificial chemicals and more of natural burn. Not quite
And like
brimstony.
my first idea isn't to rob a house; it's more to pickpocket off of somebody in the streets. But this house seems interesting.
Yeah. This the design of it is a little bit different, and you can see that there are obvious char marks that are visible from the outside, and that even it's like essentially accessible to you from the street because of your ability to crawl into small spaces and to rummage your way through.
I don't know. I was thinking more like pickpocketed off of a student at a cafe, not sneak into a homeowner's house and rummage through their stuff.
Well,
Ruzo,
from where
sorry.
you're flying by and the window, you're able to see the book on like a desk near a sleeping person, and you don't think that you can see any like magical alarms or anything like that. It's not a very well kept area, and it seems like the most auspicious thing that's like right in front of you.
Ruzo will slip on her ring of mind shielding so she'll look a bit more human.
Yeah, and you can see
Just in
this
case.
instantly happen over as Ruzo and you. Blake, Sonny, I imagine that you and Copernicus are talking along about the wand and probably not aware of this
No, yeah,
conversation
we're definitely
happening.
keeping it under
We're
wraps.
we're hanging back.
Blake and Russo were talking about gossip. No, Blake and Russo, Blake and Copernicus. We're talking
Yeah.
about gossip. Like any
Oh,
shows we
nice.
saw recently, fucked up
Yeah.
cranium rats, like, you know.
Yeah, and Copernicus does have a lot of cranium rat stories. He's eaten his fair share.
You eat a lot of
Alright.
weird things.
Okay. That one seems like it could be good. I really am never gonna know until I get my hands on any of them. I can make you greatly invisible.
That could work. So we're looking at a building, aren't we?
I mean,
Yeah,
that
it's sort of a
we
rundown
walked past
black
it.
building.
It wasn't my first idea, but I do see what looks to be a spellbook sitting on that sleepy guy's desk.
Okay. Is there any way that I could get into the building aside from on the streets? It's out of view.
I think that if you were to either go, well, because Pocket's going to make you invisible, that is
Okay.
one thing. The two probably best entryways are the window up at the very top and the back door and or window through the back area by the kitchen.
I will go round the back.
Okay, make a sleight of hand check to see how you deal with the lock.
Do you want to be greatly invisible, or do you feel confident enough in your
I feel confident.
visible?
I got
Yeah.
22.
22 is fine. You're able to click it open silently and just make a stealth check. A stealth check for me as you come into the space.
22 also.
Amazing. Let's see. So you can hear the sound of snoring upstairs, and you find yourself in a modest living room. There's a single amber in the hearth. Looks like it's faintly glowing from the night before. There's a tea kettle. There's not very much going on in this space. It's a very simple student's living room. There's a table. You can see a small kitchenette. Stairs going to the second floor where the bedroom is.
I will go up the stairs to the bedroom.
Yeah, and you can see carved into the walls as you make your way up are a number of like tick marks, like someone's been counting something. You're not exactly sure what the case is. You you go in and you make it up to the second story and up to the bedroom door, and you're able to creak it open and see this wizard still sleeping, their tome, their wizard spell book on the bed next to them.
I'm watching through the window.
Yeah, and you also see Pocket.
I'll go get the book.
And as you do, the figure in the bed sort of rolls over one way. I need you to make another stealth check.
26.
Nice.
So you come down, you just like your knees bend and you pull yourself from kind of in the corner by the side of the bed, and then the wizard wakes up and yawns. And they begin to kind of pull themselves up, and they sit up in the bed and they say,
I go knock on their door.
Am I hidden at the moment?
"You are hidden."
Okay,
And
I fly down and I knock on their door really loud.
that's fine. You can see, Ruzo, that they're just about to lay their head back down to sleep when there's a knock at the door downstairs, and they pull their head up and they look around in the space and they see you.
Well, she's so hidden. Come on. What's the point of
Let's
rolling the goddamn
roll-
number?
Let's roll initiative.
Well,
just to see
did
what
he roll
happens.
a perception to see her? That's not how stealth fucking works, Derek.
She's in his bedroom next to the bed by a nightstand. He's
I thought she
sitting
was
up
hidden.
in the bed.
I thought she rolled a good stealth check and was hidden.
It was a stealth check to see if she could be silent, not if she could defy the laws of physics and space.
my initiative is 20.
In the distance, you can hear like.
Stupid.
So yeah, my sister Willow, right? The little bitch.
Copernicus is like, you don't need her. You don't need your family anymore, Blake
This
Sonny.
date's my boyfriend.
Oh my
Fucked
god.
up, dude.
That is fucked up. If that were my family member, I would eat their toes.
What? What? What?
Pocket.
18.
Okay, Ruzo, you're the first to act. This person has seen you. You have their book in your hand. What do you do?
Can I convince him that this is all part of a dream and that I'm not actually here?
Yeah, just tell me more. Tell me more.
You are a charming vampire.
Well, no, he just sees me as a human.
Oh.
I'm just gonna. He's sleepwalking. I'm not actually here, and he's just seeing things. He needs to
So,
go back to bed.
You
This is all
say
part of a
this.
dream.
Do you want to make a deception check for me,
Or a persuasion check.
or a persuasion check?
29.
Oh my god.
So he rolls a 6 on the die. Actually, I imagine Ruzo, you've probably taken a course in like hypnosis.
Yes.
So yeah, because he's already like a little bit asleep, he just kind of gets, oh, okay,
Look at the keys. Watch the keys.
Good night.
Watch the keys.
Alright. Okay, scared, sleep. It was so nice. Goes back to sleep. Ruzo, you answer the door for Pocket.
Okay, and
That's not.
we're gonna leave.
Yeah, you can see that Pocket or that Ruzo has a tome,
Give it to
and
Pocket.
I'm
is
sorry. I
called
was
the-
trying to help.
It's
the
okay,
bloody
I understand.
primer of the sky.
I looked in there and I couldn't see you at all, so I assumed he couldn't see you either.
Oh no, she said that she didn't take her invisibility.
That's what I'm saying. I said I thought she was sneaking and be doing such a good job at it that I couldn't see her.
It may be the case,
Yeah.
but if you wake up and there's someone who is like hid underneath
No,
your desk, there's only so much,
Yeah.
you know.
No, that's not what I'm saying. It's fine.
I'm just amazed I was able to convince him he was having a dream.
That was stupid.
It really was.
That hypnosis class really paid off for you.
It really did.
Alright,
And
what's
I
in the
will
book? What's in the book?
So yeah,
I'll
I,
shut the
I put it
door
in the
and
chat.
slip off the
Oh.
ring.
It's the bloody primer of the sky is the name of it.
Oh.
And we're gonna walk away from the house.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. That's a good one. I like that one too. This is a good book. Fuck yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
Good book.
Oh yeah. It's gonna take me some time to transfer these spells over. Oh yeah.
I think there's a material need too.
It's a monetary need, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So that is a thing. You've all been given a 400 gold advance, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh my gosh, Copernicus has money, and he's
I
a
think this is
citizen, so he
something-
doesn't need to spend it on becoming a citizen, which would have been what he spent it on. That's crazy. How do I find
Treat
GP?
yourself. Get a bagel.
That's what I would do. Insofar as Copernicus is an avatar of my personality.
For each level of the spell, the process takes 2 hours and 50 gold.
Mm-hmm. There is a place on D&D Beyond for you to add cash, isn't there?
Yeah.
There is,
Gold
yeah.
In your equipment
Equipment.
Or inventory.
or inventory,
just-
Equipment.
at the
add
top,
And then you just
there's a little gold icon.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Nice.
Oh yeah.
400 gold for Copernicus. Oh, well, he doesn't know what to do. He's gonna go get a bloody steak somewhere. That's what he tells Ruzo. Blake. As the group of you are kind of reuniting.
Okay, now I'm sleepy.
Very
And by sleepy,
nice.
I mean it's time to read.
And I'll just sort of interject as if we've been there the whole time and say to Blake, like, hey, so you were talking about your sister?
Russo, you really think I'm stupid, don't you?
I like
yeah.
the idea that I'm able to convince a man that
Yeah,
having a
you
dream,
literally see
then
Ruzo come out of
Blake-
some random person's front door.
Yeah.
and then
And
Blake
pockets
can sort
geeking
of
out
see
over a
through all-
book.
Blake is weirdly on it with certain things and very dumb in a lot of others.
You've done your fair share of B&Es. You know the energy.
Exactly. I didn't realize you were cool, Russo. Anyway, let's get you a
What
real
the
sword.
fuck?
Bit of a backhanded compliment.
What? I've never seen you actually steal anything. You just talk about it a lot. I'm sorry.
We
dude.
broke into a house together.
I never hear her talk about it. What is wrong with you, Blake?
We released an angel from a flask in some random woman's house who we watched
Copernicus
get
said,
shot
"Oh
in a
yeah,
street.
she
And
died
did you
in front of
steal
us."
anything? No, it was all me.
I disarmed traps, I stole that flask, and I released that angel.
I think
Yeah,
you got some
this is the
caltrops
first time.
too.
This is the
Yeah.
first time I've
Blake,
seen you steal.
no,
You're
hold on,
so
Blake. This
cool.
can't be about Ruzo. What's going on, Blake? What's up?
Buddy, I just thought it to be nice. I didn't realize
Oh,
it would
well,
be
that
so
was-
Really
mean.
projecting your own insecurities.
Really was,
Oh, we're gonna talk about insecurities, are we? Come on, let's get you a real sword before I kill you myself.
What the fuck? She has the best sword in the party. What are you talking about? She has
We're going
Bass
to hell. It's
Spatorian
the
Green
Hellfire
Steel.
sword.
She
It
has
is the
Bass
Praetorian
Spatorian
Steel.
Green Steel
And
longsword.
you'd think that it would work in hell.
Okay,
ironically.
cool. If that's the case, then let's get me a real sword because I want another sword. Can't have
Yeah.
those things, you know. Sick. Now that you guys have stopped being so fucking angry at me.
Well, say. Oh, all right, all right. Just it's not what you said. It's how you said it.
On Ruzo's part, that was more because I was upset at being caught, and I was just trying to distract from the fact that we got caught by making you mad.
Respect, it works 100%. You can like blatantly played like a fiddle. Like it's
I am going to have to head off relatively soon.
That's okay. Yeah, I mean that might be a good place to stop it, anyways.
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
saves you doing item stuff. Last
Yeah, I
second.
was thinking that, and it may just be like if you just want to go through and because the city's so open, we could just see what you want, and we'd be able to either make arrangements or to kind of wave it away and start the next session after that was the case. You know, we'll just cut as much time as is necessary from it because the clock is ticking, unbeknownst to the party.
Can it be assumed that we're going to take a rest in between sessions?
Nah, well, if you want to do that much of a time skip, it's something that we can do. Yeah.
I mean, not exactly a time skip, just a long rest.
Well, yeah, but it's still
Yeah.
some time.
I
that it's
mean,
gonna be yeah.
Yeah.
If
Somebody
you go
mentioned
back
going
to
home
the
and
flat
sleeping.
or yeah, and I think that that's like reasonable. But if I mean, I just want to make sure again, if people are getting items or have other things in the agenda, it can all kind of get done in.
I just want to be able to do
quickly,
whatever
you know?
spell stuff before the session happens.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, we can. Yeah, I'm sure we could just kind of wave it away as is necessary. And you want to tell me what stuff you're learning, just to.
Yeah, it's all just predicated on exactly how much downtime we have.
Yeah. It makes sense. Cool. Well, we can get all that figured out over the course of the next week, but I feel like this is a really fun one in the way that contracts and procedural stuff is.
We
fun
had a
to me.
court episode a couple episodes back. This one was all contracts, not a
Yeah.
single lick of real combat.
No.
Thank God.
And I feel like I kind of captured the essence of Omen Drawn.
No, that's
as an
good. No, yeah,
aside.
that was awesome.
I,
That was
like I
fun.
didn't overact. Well, it's maybe a separate conversation. I
It was
felt
fun,
like it was
though.
pretty omeny, and it was a very fun session for me as well. So thank you everyone for watching, if you are watching, and we'll see you all sooner than later. Bye.